Well, better late than never. Good morning and welcome to a little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus, where we are going to be spending about the next 45 minutes together enjoying a full face makeup tutorial. And a Bible verse for this week. So it's going to be beauty on the outside, beauty on the inside. My name is Wendy. And join me this week as I create try to create a stunning look with UCANBE makeup palette. We're going to talk a little bit about how to cover up acne, scarring, and bruises. We're going to play with that UCANBE Pretty All Set palette, all the while sharing the secret to feeling pretty with Jesus in my heart. So remember that you can ask any question while you are live with me. Well, actually, you could ask it after the fact, too. But while we're live, if you ask that question in the chat or whatever platform you're on, I will do my best to get that asked and answered while we are here live. Okay. Okay, that is very interesting. Let me see if I can get this turned down over here. Okay, there we go. We just got like all kind of technical things happening today. Okay. And it doesn't help that they have changed my platform just a little bit. That's always fun. Okay, so our easy makeup thing again is, what's the secret to looking pretty with Jesus in your heart and a UCANBE makeup palette? And today we're going to be looking at James chapter 4, rounding out the end of our study through chapter 4 with verses 16 and 17. The song that you're listening to in the background is our music for this week from Selves. We'll take a look at that here in just a minute. So do me a favor. Go ahead and like and subscribe and share this episode or any others that you like. And then grab your brushes, grab your palette, grab your lashes, and then get on back here and let's get going.
A little bit of makeup and a whole lot of Jesus. First days at it, can't wait. Come on in, sis. Grab your joy, take your place. We're talking beauty, talking scripture, talking God's good grace. From blush to Bible, he's the one who makes us glow. Faith on your lips, love in your soul.
All right. That was, yes, the new theme song. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Our foundation verse for this podcast is Psalm 119, verse 11. I have hidden your word in my heart that I might not sin against you. Thump, thump. If you ever heard that Vacation Bible School song. All of our scripture for season 3 are coming from Color Me James. So that is a picture of one of the interior pages of that book. This blends journaling, creative writing, word puzzles, coloring, all different learning modalities to help you make the most out of studying your way through the book of James and memorizing. One of my goals, I guess you'd call it a bucket list item, has been to memorize a book of the Bible. And what a more practical and illuminating book of the Bible to memorize. James has been a delight. So go to colormejamesbook.com, and I have something fun that just came out with regards to that. So we'll talk about that okay, I'm going to spill the beans about it. So something new, I'm going to go back up here. Something new just came out, and I want to share it with you because when I saw it, I was so excited. Okay, so Color Me James, we've talked about that. I wanted to give you a tool that would allow you to maybe kind of map it out and plan out the year. So, the 2026 Color Me James calendar has it's officially launched. This is a journey through the book of James every single month. So you can see on the weeks, it's going to break down each week. The national holidays are on there for you. If there is, let me go to, I think Easter this year is it in March or is it in April? I think it's in April. Okay, so when there's a holiday, you can see there's a bonus verse that's in yellow for you that's related to the theme of the holiday. So you've got a couple extra verses sprinkled in there. So the 48 weeks through Color Me James, you got a couple of bye weeks in here if you want to call it that. So this calendar, and then just because one of the things that we love is coloring, in the back of this, I have also included coloring pages for you for key coloring pages from each of the chapters. So you can see this right here. Now, as of right now, this is a spiral, so this is not something you can have done on Amazon right now. But if you will go to colormejamesbook.com, you will see the 3 formats of the book and the Color Me James calendar. I am so excited about that, and I hope you are too. So whether you are joining now or you have been with us the whole time, maybe you been with me from the beginning of season 3, this will be a great refresher for you as we go throughout the year, because what do we know? If you don't use it, you lose it. And so this will be a great reminder on a weekly basis what it is that we have been working on, what it is you will be working on, and just a nice refresher to keep those scripture verses at the top of your mind. Because one thing I can assure you about the book of James, every week when you read that verse, there is going to be some lesson for you. So just working on that spiritual armor with each one of these verses, and then really helping us to, discipleship for sure. Okay, so let's see, where did I leave off? We talked about Color Me James. Okay, let's look at our verse from last week. This was a little bit of a booger, so not gonna lie, it was a little bit of a spanking. We're about finished with our spankings though. Okay, so but the great thing is, why do you get a spanking? You get a spanking because that pain point is what helps you to not do that again. So when we get to chapter 5, we're going to start shifting our focus a little bit, but we'll talk about that next week, because for this week we have to finish out chapter 4. Okay, so last week we had, and now I have a word. Oh, you know what? I'm just kidding, because we need to play the song for that. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Here's the song that goes with that, and then we'll say it.
Slow down. Listen close. And now I have a word for you, who brashly announce today, at the latest tomorrow, we're off to such and such a city for the year. We're going to start a business and make a lot of money. You don't know the first thing about tomorrow. You're nothing but a wisp of fog, catching a brief bit of sun before disappearing.
All right, I'll let you listen to that on whatever your favorite streaming platform is. That was Wisp of Fog by Sailor Soul. And you know, when we first started working on that song, I thought this is not a song that you are going to be running around the house singing. I even shared that with my mom, who kind of works through the final selections of the music with me. I said, this is not really a song that you're going to like find yourself running around singing. Yes, it is. So the good thing about that is it causes you, and all the music is designed to cause you to think about it, and designed to help you really like roll those words around in your head, because often when you are thinking about words or the lyrics to a song or the rhythm to a song and what the song is about, or words from a TV show, which is why it's important what you put in your brain and what you listen to. Sometimes rolling those subconsciously around in your head help you to work out and hash out what that song, that lyric, that episode, what it is about. And so I'm surprised at how much, in fact, it's hard for me to say the verse without trying to sing it at the same time. Okay, so let's go ahead and say that verse together, and then we'll press on to what our verse is for this week. So, and now I have a word for you who brashly announce. Today, at the latest tomorrow, we're going to go to such and such a city and start a new business. Oh, no, such and such a city for the year. We're going to start a business and make lots of money. You don't know the first thing about tomorrow. You are nothing but a wisp of fog, catching a brief bit of sun before disappearing. Instead, make it a habit to say, if the master wills it, and we're still alive, we'll do this or that. Okay, so it's a little rough, but we got through it. James 4, that's 13 to 15. So now let's look at what our verse is for this week. So this week we're in James chapter 4. I don't know it yet, so let me grab this. Okay, so our verse for this week, rounding out chapter 4. As it is, you are full of your grandiose selves. Try to rhyme that in a song. Okay, you are full of your grandiose selves. All such vaunting self-importance is evil. In fact, if you know the right thing to do and don't do it, that for you is evil. So in the lyrics of the song, there's two different kind of scenario stories going on. And one deals with pride. That would be verse 1, talking about pride and you getting in the way of yourself and the sin of that. And verse 2 deals with the sin of omission, about knowing something to do and not doing it. So I hope that you will take a look at not just the song itself, but the lyrics. And I hope that helps you. And I hope it helps you to memorize the song. I love the drums. We got kettle drums in this song. So a little bit of a Jamaican flair kind of going on. So I hope you enjoy that. Now, I've been talking for quite a few minutes now. Let's go ahead and get into the chat. Oh my gosh, we got all kinds of chatting and happening. Okay, so let's see. I know. Yes, I know for me, the last thing I do when I leave the house every morning before taking the kids to school and coming to work is look at the wall calendar. So, yes. And I actually have one that I'm bringing you. Okay, so let's see. That song. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Seriously, it's going to have to just be part of my normal habit pattern because I just cannot express to you how, I don't know, what's the word? Therapeutic, cathartic, helpful it is to study the Bible verse by taking it apart and thinking about it to make a song out of it. I mean, there's just that. I never in a million years would have thought that would have been something that I would not just enjoy, but love doing and reap so many benefits from it. I mean, seriously, I wish I could take you guys along with me on the journey of that, but that would be kind of weird, and I don't even know how we do that. Okay, so give me a shout out where you are coming from. And let me see what we got represented today. We got lots of people in the house. It is exciting to see you. So I have a question for you while you tell me where you're coming from. Have you ever thought about combining faith and beauty? How having Jesus in your heart gives you confidence and a radiance that maybe other people don't have. Have you ever thought about that? And now that I brought it to your mind, are you thinking about it? Okay, so let's dive in. So again, all the products for today, if you're on YouTube, I've already put the show notes in there. So all the products that we're going to use today, because a few of them are new, all the products are going to be in that, especially when we start talking about concealing and bruises and hyperpigmentation and all that. And yes, I'm going to talk about this thing right here in just a minute. And so that contour palette that we're going to be using, the concealer palette we're going to be using, that is all in the show notes. So whether you are live with me now or you're watching this later on, that's in the show notes. Okay, so before we attack this thing on the top of my nose, let's get over to, I'm jumping all kind of ahead of myself. Okay, so this is what we're going to be using today for our eyeshadow palette and the contouring part of our face today. So this is the UCANBE Pretty All Set palette. This is A. Depending on the colors that you like and what you choose to use, because you can do this with any set of colors. I'll tell you lights, mediums, darks as we go along. But you can do this with any color selection, even in this one palette. You've got I think it's 58 or 62 shades or something. So you got plenty of things to work with to make this look be whatever you want it to be for whatever it is that you're wearing or whatever mood you're in or whatever the weather's like or whatever. Okay, so enjoy that palette. That is going to be in your show notes. So now that we're over here, we're going to talk about this right here. And this is what we're going to conceal. So, well, it actually kind of goes like this. So what happened with you, Wendy? Did you have an interesting story about a fight with a chair? No. Do you have an interesting story about helping an older woman across the street and something went wrong and you got whacked with a cane? No, I don't. So here's what this is, or what this is. I was in my shed on Sunday and I was trying to feed the birds, my backyard birds, because they didn't have any mealworms in their container. And while I was trying to get their mealworms out of the container, this glass bird feeder overhead was momentarily occupied by Satan, who took it off the hook and whacked me in the head with it. It hit the top of my head, got a bruise and thing up there, and then it whacked me right here. And so I was accosted on Sunday by a glass bird feeder. But no worries, I'm okay, and the headache has stopped. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take a little bit of time talking about how do you cover up stuff like this? Because I do not want to be walking around all day looking like I just had a bar fight when I don't even go to bars. Okay, so what we're going to start with is, well, first, let me get this thing out the way. So I do not like makeup in my hair. Don't know about you. You do what you got to do. Whatever you're going to do and whatever you're going to conceal, we want to start with a good primer. Couple of reasons. One main reason. If you don't have that surface kind of evened out and fleshed over and hydrated a little bit, your concealer is going to make a glumpy, like, oh, look, she has concealer spot on your face. So we're going to start out with the Professional Matte Primer. This is it's designed to control oil, keep you a nice, pleasant matte finish, and then fill in fine lines and wrinkles. This would include the little bumpiness that usually happens when maybe you're in the middle of pimple reconnaissance. Maybe you've already had one and now you just got the leftover while the scab thing is working its way out. So always start with a good primer. Also, you don't want that dry skin that sometimes can happen if you've been playing with it. So this will help to hydrate that area a little bit so that we don't end up with this glumpy looking thing when we get the powder on there. Okay, so it might be time for Wendy to get a new one. Okay, there we go. We're going to start out with this right here. Work it between your fingers. Make sure, wherever your thing is, that you are getting this there. So I'm going to make sure I'm going gingerly, Hector. I actually don't know what that's from, so sorry if that's something bad. Okay, I just remember my dad used to say it. Okay, here we go. So, any place you've got fine lines, wrinkles, or a little thing that needs to be fixed, you're just going to make sure you get that there. That's going to fill in some gaps. It's going to give you some nice hydration. Smooth it out. We're going around the lips with that so that it is good to go for when we put our lipstick on, so it will do its job and stay put. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab our Eye Prep Eye Prime from Juvia's Place. We are using lighter colors today. So we could get away with not doing it, but we are going to do a little bit of a cut crease. So I just want to make sure our colors come true. So I'm just going to give a little bit, and let's just even that out, because the lighter we make this, or the more even we make this, the more effectively the colors can do their job. And because we are using some light ones today, I just think it'll be a good idea. And also when we get into that, it's just a little bit of, it's not really a cut crease, but we are going to add a little bit of this when we get to the second part of the eyeshadow. So it'll just help everything be better. Okay, so there we go. So now, what are we going to do about this? I'm going to grab my UCANBE multi-use face palette. Also love the tinted concealers from Tarte, has a great collection of them. Once upon a time, Fenty had some nice stick ones. I don't know if those are still there. Depending on where you're concealing. The problem with the stick ones are sometimes they're a little rough and you don't really want to tug on sensitive areas. So if your darkness or whatever you're trying to conceal is around your eye, I would probably stick with something more liquid, like with the doe foot. Also, the Benefit concealers are really nice too. Okay, so UCANBE multi-use face palette. Here's what we got here. Now this is a full face palette. Okay, you got everything in here. But for today, we're just going to be using these bad boys here. So we are going to, oh, there's a little sheety thing on it. Let's lift that up. There we go. So for today, we're going to be dealing with these two colors right here. We're going to talk about the red one, and then we're going to talk about the green one and what the difference is between the two. So let's start out with assessing our area. So you can see I've got darkness right here from like the bruising of it, and then just like normally lives there. So we've got darkness right here. We've got a little bit of red and tiny bit of swelling still happening up here. We got some definite red and a little bit of purple happening here. Over here, we got a little bit of red and purple happening. We got some darkness in here. So we got a couple of different things going on. So first thing is colors. This also works if you're covering tattoos. We used to get people coming in all the time asking about coloring tattoos. If you have a large contrast area, like right there where that super dark spot is a higher contrast to my skin tone, right? You can like readily see it. If you've got a tattoo where you've got like a black line tattoo and you need to cover that tattoo, there's a lot, for my skin, there's a lot of contrast between that black line and then my skin. And really, as far as tattoo lines go, all of them that are black line are going to be considered in this category. It doesn't matter if you are a black woman or if you are a white woman. They're all going to fall into this category. Black line against any skin tone is going to be high contrast. So for the high contrast, usually blacks, purples, that kind of thing, you're going to be using the red. So that's going to be this one here. So we're going to use two different things, and I'll explain it as we go along. So the darkness right here, I'm just going to tap my finger in there, and I'm just going to put it right there on the top of that dark spot. And we're just going to tap it right there. Now I got this happening in here, and it is dark as well. So I'm going to tap that red right in there. And you don't need a lot of it. We're just doing a little bit. We don't want to goop it in there. If you actually have like a crusty spot, go in a circle around the crusty spot. Don't go like right on that spot. We don't want that crusty spot to develop folds of red concealer. Okay, so red in here, just like that. And then we got a little bit right there. It's kind of dark from the bruising there. We're going to do that. Okay. And then whatever happened there, I don't know. Okay, so now we've got the darkness. You can already see in looking at it, well now, depending on the light you're looking in, it's a little, you can already see that it's kind of toned it down. Now the other thing, I'm going to wipe my finger off on my tissue here. The other thing that we got working on is I got some redness that's happening because my skin just has that. And because the around the bruising is kind of made some red. So we're going to do the green. We could have a conversation about the color wheel and opposites track. But for today, let's try to keep it simple. So redness. Green is going to be opposite of that. We're just going to take that right there. Get some green on the tip of that finger. And we're going to put that green. Maybe not that much. We're going to put that green where that redness is happening. I'm going to borrow some of that. Put that over here. And this is not from the glass accident. This is just, birthright, we'll call it. So we're going to tap that out so it's not quite so stark of green. And now you just have a little bit of a hint of that happening. We've gone around that red just a little bit and the green. So the red is covering the darkness and the green is covering the redness. Okay, let me close that all up. So now that we look sort of like the Bride of Frankenstein, we're going to use our regular concealer. This is like primer for bruising, primer for hyperpigmentation, primer for acne. So that's your 2 colors. That's what you're going to do with it. Now we're going to grab our regular concealer. This is the Lancome Tinty Dole. I'm the shade 090. We're going to take that and we're going to do this just like normal on top of that. So we're going to go here, here, there, there. Go ahead and get that up in there. Okay. And then we're just going to tap that out. And it's just going right over the top of those colored concealers that you just used. Now, what is something that you can already immediately notice? Immediately you can see that all of that is now invisible. It is hidden, but we don't have cakey. You can't see that cakey or anything happening there. So now we are right where we need to be. Now you're just going to do everything like normal from here. So I'm going to grab my Dampen Beauty Blender. I'm going to grab my Juvia's Place. This is the I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. I'm the shade 710 Maracao. We're just going to, ooh, that was a little bit. Okay, well, you probably don't need that much, but there you go. So now we're just going to put on our foundation like we normally do and watch this happen. So I'm just going to tap it. There you go. And this concealing thing that we just walked through, it does not matter how old you are. You don't have to be over 50. You don't have to be over 40. You could be 12. This is a thing for all ages. Okay, so we're going to tap that out. I'm going to go up into the hairline here so we don't have any like ending places. You cannot see the red. You cannot see the green. You cannot see the bruising. Hey, that sounds like a Dr. Seuss. You can't. Oh man, now I don't remember what I said. I'm gonna have to go back. Maybe I have been writing too much. Exactly. Oh yay! This is already one of my favorite videos. Okay. Yes, I didn't have any acne whatever until I was like 33. I didn't have it throughout high school. I'm not saying I didn't ever have a pimple. It just wasn't a thing until I hit like 33. And then it's like perimenopause. Hello, acne. Here we come. It's only fair. Everybody should have to deal with it at some point of their life, right? Okay. So we're just going to take that foundation. We're pouncing that right up into where that concealer is, getting around our nose, making sure we get around those lips so that that lipstick will set and stay nice and pretty and fine like we want it. And we're just dabbing around. So now it is invisible. You cannot see the darkness. You cannot see the, oh, let me get right in there. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. You cannot see glumpy bumping. You cannot see the bruise up here. That was in here is now gone. When we step away, it is just a nice, even color. So that is the beauty of using colored concealers. Do you need to do colored concealers every day? I don't know. That's on you. How much time do you want to take? Does everybody probably need concealers at some point in their lives? Absolutely. So the next time you get accosted by a bird feeder, you can use this to help you not look like you just got whacked over the head by a chair. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to grab our setting powder. I am using the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection. This is, I think it's like number 10 or something. Yeah, number 10. This has a kind of a little bit of, it's almost the same color as the cotton candy from Juvia's Place. This is, I think, going to turn out to be not quite as cost effective as the Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place is a little more expensive, but you get twice the product. So, and it's not twice the price. So we're going to take that Blurfection. We're going to take our Juvia's Place triangle. We're going to get it right there. I'm going to take that tip, tap it out. We're going to work that right around that eye area. And just right up underneath there, right up to that lash line. Now I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to use the wide end. We're going to do that same thing. Set it in there, tap it out. And one benefit of a blurring powder is that as you set that into that maybe crunchy area, it's going to blur it out instead of set it and make little crunchies. So you can see that just set nice and pretty. And now we're going to go on to the cheek. I think Wendy was talking too much and did not blend it out over here very well. Okay, let me try that again there. Oh, much better, much better. There we go. Oh, Ireland is in the house. Nice to have you with us. Okay. I think I maybe... You know, these holes in these powder things always start out so good. I feel like the perfect lid would have the holes in it. You know, these things here would have the holes in it. But then the lid would have the pokey that goes opposite. So when you close the lid, so maybe it needs to be a snap-on lid. So that when you close it, the holes from the lid are going to pop into the holes for the powder to come out. So that way it's always clean out when you go to use it. Okay, I should get a patent on that, I think, because I feel the container designer in me coming out. I could be millions. Oh wait, now I'm starting to sound like the verse. Okay, never mind. All right, so let us press on with what we got going on now. So, nice, even surface. You can see with the concealing that we have done, we have now caused that bruising and redness to disappear. We're going to grab our pretty all set palette from UCANBE. And we are going to, if I can get it open, there we go. These like magnet, I think. So this is the palette that we're going to be playing with today. And today we're going to be using those top highlighters and right up here. There we go. Oh, I'm glad you like the new hair color. It's, I threw a little extra pink in it. So it's still that nice kind of berry raspberry color. But there's a little extra level of pink in there. So I thought maybe that might, come out a little bit. Thank you, Anthea. Okay. So we're going to take our It Cosmetics brush. We're going to get in that low right there. We're going to go from the ear. We're not going to pass the corner of the eye. We're just going to go right here, staying above the hollow of the cheek, and then right up beside that temple right there. Do that same thing on the other side. Yeah, there's not anything wrong with the other palette. I just, whatever reason, we're going to use this one for the eyeshadow colors. So I just wanted to use that one palette. But yes, you can, of course, use that multi-use face palette that we were just using a minute ago for those concealers. Absolutely. Beautiful palette for sure. So now we're going to use that skinny side of the brush. We're going to go from the lower part of the ear under that jawline, stopping at the corner of the mouth. It's going to give that jawline a little bit of accentuation so we can reduce the number of chins I have and give the illusion that I don't have quite as much fat hanging on right there as I usually do. Okay. Oh, yeah, Anthea, I got, something fell on me, and so I had like redness and bruising and all kind of fun stuff right there. So it's okay. I'm okay now. It's not any big deal. No doctors were needed, or okay, well maybe, but according to my children, they were needed, but none were consulted. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to contour right beside the nose. We're going to skinny up that nose just a little bit. I'm going to use the other side of this for the highlighter right here. We're going to go right on the top of that cheekbone and right beside that eye socket. Right beside that cheekbone. Right beside that eye socket. And then I'm going to come down the center of the face. And make sure I hit that Cupid's bow with that right there. Okay, now, need to grab the blush brush. Let's go into this. I'm just going to give it a tap. Between the dark and the light, we're going to add that pink right in there. And then right between the two right there. And right between the two there. So, Anthea, we did a little bit of a tutorial to start off talking about concealers and different ones and colors and what they do to solve different problems. So for sure, when we're finished and YouTube or whatever platform gets the video rendered and then put back up, watch the beginning of this, because that will definitely help if you have to ever conceal anything, tattoo, scarring, bruising from things that happen or whatever. So yes, that is what we were doing to start out with. I'm going to go ahead and take my powder and just kind of do that. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, it was just one of those what just happened kind of moments. Okay, so today we are going to be, well, actually, I have a question. So in the chat, since y'all are being a little bit chatty today, in the chat, what is your current favorite foundation sponge, beauty blender, or brush? What is your favorite product that you're using right now to get your foundation on your face? Is it your fingers? Are you a digits person? So let me get that in there while we are taking a look at our lips today. So we're going to be using the NYX. This is the Line Out Loud, and this is, I think, Hijack or Hottie, I think it's Hijack or Hottie. So we're going to be using this to outline our lips, and then we're going to play with some MAC. So we're going to start out in the center there. Oh, you know what? Just kidding. I forgot to have us say the verse together. Say the verse. Say the verse, Wendy. I know we're listening to it as it's going around. I waited until the verse was like in the middle, like a waitress. Okay. Okay, so it is coming around. This is the Message version of the Bible. Let's say that together. As it is, you are full of your grandiose selves. All such vaunting self-importance is evil. In fact, if you know the right thing to do and don't do it, that, for you, is evil. And that's James chapter 4, verse 16 to 17, which finishes out our chapter 4 this week. Okay, so here we go. Right in the Cupid's bow. She sees her sister breaking down in the pew. A neighbor in trouble, but she walks on through. Okay. Let me just say this. Okay, yes. I have seen a couple of these ridiculous videos of people using self-tanner for contouring. Let me just tell you, this is a very bad idea. You can do what you want to do, but I'll tell you some pitfalls to it. On the daily, we had women who came in and did this or that with self-tanner and needed to get it off. Because the problem is, once you get it on there, you are going to have to do like Jennifer Lopez in Made in Manhattan. And you're going to have to grab some scrub and some lemon and scrub. So this is not a good idea. Number one, a lot of those self-tanners, they say they're made for your face. They're not. So you do you, but I would definitely not do that. There is so many things that could go wrong with that. Not to mention, how many times have we seen like actresses and that where their face is like a different color from their neck and the rest of their body. So I would not want to do self-tanner as a lazy way of doing contouring. That's me personally. I see so many things that could go wrong with that. I just think that is really not a good idea. And some of the videos that I've seen, what you're not seeing is the outtakes. You're not seeing that that thing that you just saw for a minute and a half really took them 2.5 hours, and there were 4 people on staff helping them do it. So can it be done? Maybe. Is it the best idea? Nah, I don't think so. Because self-tanner's been around for a long time. I've seen self-tanner since I was a kid. And if it hadn't been a good idea up till now, it probably isn't a good idea. So, do what you want to do. Love to hear your story. If you find some way to do it and it's worked for you, that's spectacular. I would enjoy watching a video of you doing that. But that is not something that I will be trying for allergy reasons, for it going wrong reasons, and all of that. So, back to our hijacker hottie. Great question. I love that. So thank you so much for asking that. So I would just stick with creams or powders that you have to do on the daily. So line out loud, hottie hijacker. We're going to go right in that Cupid's bow there. And then we're going to outline just outside our lip line, out to that outside corner. Same thing on the other side. And then we're going to do on the bottom. So right there in that center. Oh, you know what? Dadgummit. I forgot to turn on the Instagram. So sorry, Instagram people. Hello. It's so nice to have you here. All right. So we're going to go to the outside edge here. Yeah, they have really. I'm glad you like that, Anthea. They have really come a long way with self tanners not being like orange. I remember when I was a kid, like you might as well just slap some iodine on you because that's all you're doing. It was iodine suspended in a lotion, and so everybody turned this ridiculously orange sweet potato kind of color. So at least that is not how it works now. But those do penetrate. So, whew, I mean, and then what you gonna do? If you get it not in the right shape, or it bleeds out a little bit, or, you know, it spreads a little bit while you're sleeping, that's not going to be a fun day. Okay, so we're going to grab our MAC. This is Candy Yum Yum. There is a link to that. This is one of my favorite colors, whether you're using it as an accent color or the color itself. This is what we're going to do. This is beautiful. Every skin tone that uses this, it gives just a little bit different flair. So try it out. Here we go. Right in the center there. And we are going over that liner. They're about the same color. But I'm going to go ahead and lipstick over it just so that it blends out nice and pretty. Okay. Such a pretty pink color. Okay, I got a vote for fingertips. Dip into the pot with a spatula, then dot it on my face with the foundation and spread it with my fingers. Good plan, good plan. Just make sure your hands are clean before you do that, and then you clean them afterwards. But yes, that's a good way. I did that for years and years and years till really sponges became a thing, or brushes became a thing. So, okay, so now we've got our nice pink lip. Let's see what, if I can get my mouse to cooperate with me. There we go. Let us begin to play with our eyes. So I'm not going to be able to see you for just a brief look. Here, let me go like that. There we go. No. Sorry, playing with the computer sometimes is problematic. There we go. Okay, so we're going to play again with that Pretty All Set palette. And we're mostly going to be in this center section right here today. So we're going to play, let me see if I can remember my history here. We're going to use, actually, you know, I really do need to number this palette. We're going to play in this one a little bit. And then we're going to use, wait, is this right? Okay, here we go. We're going to be in this one a little bit. Then we're going to touch into this one just a little bit. We might dab into that one for just a little smidgen of a second. And then we're going to use this one right here on the underneath. We're going to play a little bit in this lavender right here. So, okay, let us get going because now Wendy is like all over the place. But it's going to be fun. It's a lighter color. We're going to be a little bit of a, I would say a pastel-ish kind of thing. So more of a lighter, you know, we're thinking about spring. It's winter. Maybe this reminds you of a snow thing. Maybe like the Northern Lights. That's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it the Northern Lights eye look today. Okay, so we're going to start up here with a fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M441, or at least that's what I think it is. You're going to go right up here. Oh, I didn't know it. And this is just going to give us something to blend into. Okay, first off, if you love pink lipstick, give me a heart. Let me see a heart in the chat. Pink lipstick lovers, give me a heart in the chat. It's okay if you're not. Not everybody is. But if you love pink lipstick, give me a heart in the chat. In fact, if you're on YouTube and you're one of the beauty insiders, I believe there is a fun special one just for you. So let me see that fun special one. Okay, so I'm going to go with this right here. This is a Morphe 321. And we're going to go in this nice lavender color right here, just on the tip. Okay, I'm going to need to set this down now so that I can do some work. Here we go. So that's going to go right on that socket bone right there. And we're just going to drop down. We're not going to come over. We're just going to drop down right here. There we go. Just bring that color around. And we'll blend that out in a minute, but you can do it just a little bit right now if you want to. And I feel like I need just a little right there. There we go. There we go. Same thing on the other side, right on that bone. You don't need to be too neat about the underside because we're going to do, again, we're going to do a little bit of cut crease down there. And that will help clean that up. And then you're just coming straight down with that right there. And then you can just blend that out a little bit. We'll get that more blended out when we get closer to having that thing ready. But for right now, we're just going to do that. And if you have a little bit of a harsh edge right here, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because when we add these other colors in there, we will clean that up. Okay, so we're going to do that. That right there. Okay, so that gives us our first color. Just a nice lavender kind of color. You could do this with darker colors too. So this is the dark for today. I'm going to go ahead and dust off any fallout I got. So if you wanted to do this with darker colors, maybe you wanted to do the same look, but you want to use jewel tones, you would just use a darker purple right here. Same kind of premise behind it. Okay, so I'm going to grab just a regular shadow brush, and we're going to start out with I think 2 colors, and then we'll do a little cut in. Okay, so just got a shadow brush here, and I'm going to go into, I'm going to do this color right here, just like 2 swipes, right next to that purple. Just 2 swipes, whoop, whoop, right next to that purple. Okay, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to go into this nice peachy color right here. I'm going to put that right there. So it's in the middle of the eye, touching that pink that we just put there. And I'm going to flip it over with that pink and just kind of come back on there so that blends out a little bit. Now, we want the next color to stay nice and vibrant and fun. So we're going to grab this right here, which is a Morphe M410. Just a nice squared off angled. I'm going to grab my I Prep, I Prime right here. Okay, got some hearts for the pink. Nice. So unlike before, I'm going to go ahead and put this on the back of my hand. Just a little tiny bit because I want to be able to control how much I'm putting on here. So got the brush, got that right there. I'm just going to get a little bit on the tip of that right there. You can see just barely on the tip. We're going to go right here. And I'm just going to walk that over and give us a little bit of a line right there. And I extended that little line over, not because we're going to add that yellow color there, but because I want that peachy to get a little extra peachy right there. I'm going to do that same thing on the other side. So we're just getting a little bit of that right here on the back side of that brush. Going to go right here to the inside of the eye and let that edge make your clean edge. And then we're going to lay down that flat side of that brush and let that fill in the area. Okay. See, I think this one might need to come over just a little bit more. All right, I'm gonna tap that off. I'm gonna grab just a small brush so we can apply that inner color. This is an M, oh my gosh, what is this? M213, I think. It's a little bit of a Morphe. We're gonna go into it. Actually, I think I'm gonna do, now let's just go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and grab this yellow, but I reserve the right to tone it down a little bit with that one here in just a second. Okay, so we're just going to get that on one side of the brush. We're going to go right here on the inside. And we're just going to put that yellow right here. But I'm not going to go up onto that little thing right there. We're going to leave that for that pinky color here in just a second. Do that same thing on the other side. She's got it all handled, or so she claims. Family, money, faith, her name. Won't pray with nobody, won't ask for help. Okay. So we left that little line open, and then we didn't quite go over all the way on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the back side of this brush. We're going to go back into that peachy color we had. And we're going to go right up onto that line. And then right where those two colors meet each other. Right onto that line. And then right where these two colors meet each other. And you can just flip that brush back and forth from the yellow to the peach right over those connectors so that they will blend together. So this color right here would be whatever medium color you decide you want to do. So I'd say light medium. So we've got the lavender. We've got a darker pink. We've got a little bit of a lighter pink. We've got that kind of rosy. And then we've got the yellow all happening right in here. And actually it looks like right here on the inside, I need to do a little reconnaissance right there. Here we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take a smudger. Actually, let's finish the top part first. Let's do the top part first. Okay. So, actually, let's do... This is a Morphe M456. We're going to take this. It is a medium fluffy, so it's not quite as fluffy as that one we were using a second ago. I'm going to go into that light lavender color that we were using, which is this one right here. We're just going to tap it a couple of times. And we're going to blend this out. Just a little bit. So right where that lavender is meeting that white, you're just going to go over those two a little bit. Now I think right here where we had that lavender, I'm actually going to go into this one right here. So we were using this one. I'm going to grab this right here just on the tip. And I'm just going to go with a little punch on the outside corner. Just give it a little bit of intensity right there on that outside corner. There we go. Okay, now, let's do a little bit of accent color. You ready? So this is what we've got so far on the top of the lid. We're going to finish out our Northern Lights kind of look with, this is a Morphe M508, I believe. It's just a short smudger. And we're going to go into this one right here. Just on the tip there. We're going to go under the eye with that. And I'm actually going to turn it sideways and let it fill out just a little bit on the outside there. Going all the way from side to side. Again, I'm going to turn it sideways right here and let it be a little wider on that outside right there.
Won't pray with nobody, won't ask for help. Thanks herself first, puts God on the shelf.
Okay. Now I believe we're gonna do just a little. I'm gonna take a different smudger because I want it to be free of color. Because I want to add just a little. This is I think this one's a MAC, which doesn't have a name on it anymore. But I'm gonna grab just the tip of that. And I'm going to go into the highlighter that we used on my face. And I'm going to get that right on the tip. So just a little white on the tip there. And we're going to go right here on the inside corner.
She sees her sister breaking down in the pew. A neighbor in trouble, but she walks on through.
Okay. And that just illuminates that inside color a little bit. So you can see we've got some nice blending there on the top of the lid. And then we've got that nice accent color on the underneath. All right. You like your lipstick mauve or dark like my soul before coffee? Okay. So question for you. While we are taking a look at this, getting ready to do a little liner on the top of the lid, have you ever felt the challenge of feeling beautiful in a world where it prioritizes external appearance over inner beauty? Have you ever felt the challenge of that coming against you in any way? Or do you just like float along and everything's nice and hunky-dory in your world? I'm not sure. Okay, so I am going to do the black liner, but I'm going to add a little bit. I just want to make sure that my outside corners are nice and good on that top lid. So I'm going to grab that Egyptian liner in Kajal or black. I know it's almost used up. Here we go. We are going to need to give that bad boy just a little bit of a sharpen today. There we go. Okay. I'm going to go on the top of the lid only from the outside edge about halfway. Just on the top today. Absolutely. Okay, I'm not alone in that thought. Okay. I think that is one definite instance where, you are made in the image of the Most High God. There cannot be anything not perfect about you. So, I know I have to tell myself things like that all the time. So, it's comforting to know sometimes that you're not the only one in the room who's ever thought like that or had anything happen to you about that. Why am I shaking up the liner? We don't have any brows yet. Oh my gosh, woman. Okay, so I am using the Voluminous Original Mascara. This is in the shade, what is that? Deep Burgundy, I think? Yes, Deep Burgundy. So whatever your brow product is of choice, we've got this beautiful eye going on. Part of the ongoing cosmic battle. Yes, which appears good on the surface and is not always trustworthy. That is absolutely true. And I don't know about you. We just had some award show. I didn't watch it, so I'm not sure what it was, but Academies or Grammys or something. I was appalled at some of the things that people were wearing as if that was clothing. Okay, does their mom know they left the house looking like that? That's all I gotta say. Because I'd be getting spanked if I tried to leave the house like that. Okay, so, and absolutely it is a cosmic battle. Okay, so we've got whatever your brow product is. Again, I've got this mascara because it matches the color of my hair. You're just going to do that now. I am definitely in need of a good brow wax. That has not happened in a while. I think I was having this conversation the other day in the office. We need to have a brow waxing lunch hour. Yes, looks can be deceiving. That is true. You know, in the Bible, it talks about wolves in sheep's clothing. You can even what is the other expression? Even a rabid dog can be nice for a short while. If you've ever taken in a stray dog, you know how that works. They're hungry, they're scared, they've been without for so long. They can be nice and friendly and all that. But at some point, about 4 days in, their true character, once they've got a little bit of food, their true character is going to come out. And just like the children of Israel, they are going to become ungrateful for the environment that you have provided for them. And their inside true self is going to come out and bite you. Oh, yes. So true. I didn't even think about that. How much of a cold, for sure. And that one lady had her things hooked to her things that do things when it gets cold. And oh my goodness. Anyways, I shouldn't have even brought that up. But there you go. So I'm just going to get my brows even here because I think I got this one just a little bit lighter right there. Oh, so right now in Texas, we have finished with our what is this freeze thing? And we are back to reasonable weather. So this morning I woke up and it was like 34 degrees. And we're supposed to hit like 70 today, 70, 72 or something like that. So we're just kind of in this yo-yo thing happening right now, which is usually what goes on in February. February's crazy. You either got something nice happening or there's ice on the ground and people are acting a fool trying to drive on something they have no business trying to drive on. So Right now, it is just like back to normal. It is pleasant, and thank you so much for asking. Okay. Now we got our eyeshadows done. We got our brows on. We got our lips on. We got our contouring. Let us add some glorious lashes. I am going to be playing. No, we didn't get snow really in Texas. What we got was ice, and it looked pretty and white on the ground, but it was a little painful to try and throw it because it really wasn't snow. It was a lot of sleet and ice this time around. We do get snow sometimes, but not this time around. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Kiss Lash. This is their Lash Couture Faux Mink collection, and this is Jubilee is the name of this one. So we're going to, maybe we're going to open this up. Okay, hold on a sec. We're going to open this up because I should have done this ahead of time. Man. Okay, there's that. I guess people be trying to steal lashes and stuff, so you gotta make it like impenetrable packaging. There's your big word for the day, impenetrable. Okay. Yeah, it did look like snow, but it did not behave like snow. Okay, so we're gonna take this tray out. Again, this is the Jubilee. So this one is kind of a little bit, you got a little bit of a flare going on. So it's a little more narrow on the inside compared to what it is on the outside. This one is a clear band. So depending on the brand manufacturer, sometimes the clear bands can be a little bit stiff because it's a filament as opposed to like a fabric band. And so make sure that you get those nice and trimmed so that you don't get poking on the inside of the outside, because filaments, that's what they have a tendency to do, is be a little pokey. So we're going to grab that from the outside edge of the tray. Theoretically. Okay, maybe I might need to use my finger to start it. There we go. Okay, so we're going to grab that from the outside of the tray, and then I'm going to set it in front of me like it's going to go on my face so that I can keep track of inside, outside. These ones, because it is a little bit of a flare, it is a little bit easier to tell what goes where. Man, I hate the start. There we go. Sometimes the first time you pull a lash off a tray, it is just like a nice little pain in the booty. We're going to take the edges of these and hold two tips, and you're just going to soften that band a little bit so that it will be a little gentler when you put that bad boy up there on your eyelid. So that was that one. Let's grab the other one and do the same thing. Grab on both sides, just giving it a little flexy going on there. I know that these are going to be too long for my eye. Yes, they are a little bit stiff. So I know these are going to be too long for my eye, so I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to clip off about that much. I would rather clip off a little bit too much than not enough, because I do not like the poke. Okay, so now I have to do the same thing with the other side. It's always so hard to see when it's the other hand. Okay, here we go. And when people are watching. What are we doing here? Was that the same as the other one? Nope, not as much. Okay, let me do another little trim. Hold on, I'm going to have to do this without you watching because... Okay, we'll get one more little clip out of here. Doop. Okay, there you go. I think that'll do it. I have no idea where that just went. All right, so we're going to do the same technique we've been doing. I've got them set down on the table in front of me, so I know which is going up into which eye. I'm using the Kiss Super Stick, and again, this is a black. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a shake so it is all good to go. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to scrape one side off so it's not like fully loaded. We're going to go to the inside. No, we're not. Ladies, what are we missing on our eyelashes? We do not have our mascara on, and I do not want that today. So let us take a step back and put our mascara on first, and then we'll do our lashes. Here we go. So I'm going to grab that lash curler. We're going to find that sweet spot, set that there, get that ready so that when you pinch down on it, it does not pinch your eyelid as well. We're going to say that verse together as our timer. So so finding that sweet spot. And here is our verse. Oh my gosh, now I can't see it. Okay, hold on. Okay, here it is. As it is, you are full of your grandiose selves. All such vaunting self-importance is evil. In fact, if you know the right thing to do and don't do it, that for you is evil. James 4:16-17. We're going to go the other side. We're going to get that one ready. And there we go. As it is, you are all such vaunting. Hold on. The verse is so short this week, it's kind of weird. Okay, as it is, you are full of your grandiose selves. All such vaunting self-importance is evil. In fact, if you know, the right thing to do and don't do it, that for you is evil. And that's James 4:16-17. I got to giggling, sorry. Let's see, whatever you do, do not try to pull any of the band off unless you want micro individual. Okay. That sounds like a personal experience testimony thing. Okay, so we're going to give just one coat of mascara because we are putting the lashes on. So we just need our lashes to blend in nicely with the beautiful black that we've got in those Jubilee lashes from Kiss. So just one coat of mascara will do ya. And then we're going to do one coat on the other side as well. I think I'm about ready to need a new tube of mascara. I'm thinking this one may not have been as fresh because I don't think I've had this one quite that long. Have you noticed? I always try to get... Oh, man, I just whacked myself in the face. Have you noticed that depending on where you get your makeup from... that if it is something that has sat on the shelf for a while, it just does not perform the same. And the place that I got it from this time was I'm not going to say the name, but I think they're not moving enough product to have fresh product. Have you experienced that? Have you had that happen? Someplace you bought it at that, it's kind of like when you go to the gas station. The middle of the night, all of a sudden you have an upset stomach and you need some Pepto-Bismol. So you go to the gas station, and what does the gas station have? Stale, old Pepto-Bismol that tastes nasty on top of nasty. So kind of like that. So let's do the bottom lashes now. Have you had that happen to you, or am I standalone here? Because not every place is going to sell as much makeup as the next place. And don't think just because you're at some place like Ulta or Sephora that they're going to be moving that product faster. They're buying it in bigger quantities. And people are being cost conscious. So if you're going to go buy a drugstore mascara at some place whose bread and butter is higher end, then that drugstore mascara has probably been sitting for a while. Here we go. Let's do this on the other side as well. And we're going all the way from root to tip with that mascara on the bottom. Exactly. I think for drugstore makeup, you're going to be better off and getting fresher quality if you're going someplace that's going to have a higher turnover. Yes, not all things have... Yes, definitely check expiration dates. Not all things have expiration dates, though. Or you have to know the coding in the thing for... It's usually a manufactured by date, not an expiration date, like for mascara, for example. So you can just Google, like let's say your favorite mascara, like I'm using right now, the L'Oreal. You can Google how to read the manufacturer date in the serial number or barcode or manufacturer code. And that'll tell you how to do it. And then you can, figure out was that mascara made last week or was that mascara made 2 years ago and it's been sitting on somebody's shelf and in somebody's warehouse. We used to have to do that when we would do inventory every year. be familiar with how to read the different manufacturers' expirations so that you were having the freshest product in your store. Not all stores did this, but mine did. Because that was one of the times a year where we were allowed to destroy products that were beyond acceptable date. Okay, so there we go. Now what we're going to do is now we're going to go back to our liquid lash liner, and we're going to do the scrape off the one side. We're going to go to the inside and just put that nice thin line all the way from the inside edge across, and then from the outside corner there we go. Okay, now that we got that one nice line done, I'm gonna grab that lash tool again, grab that lash right there in the middle. Whoop, looks like you need a little help curling. There we go. And we're gonna set that right on the top of there. Oh yeah, that's got some nice curl in it. I like that one. Okay, so you can see the two sides with the lash, without the lash. Which one do you like better? Totally a personal preference. You can do whichever one you like. These are relatively comfortable. I do like the Kiss clear bands. I think that they're one of the more comfortable of bands. Some are definitely more comfortable than others. So let's go ahead and do that same thing on the other side now. Again, we're scraping off that one side. Going to the inside corner. Do that same thing from the outside corner. I feel like I got a lot of that on my lash just now. Okay. Gonna grab that other lash. Get it right there in that middle. Set that down. And my elbow just touched the light, and so that changed the color. Let's see. Here we go. I don't know what that one is. I think that one's too light. Okay, we'll figure that out in a second. Sorry, my light is changing. I hit it with my elbow. Okay. All right. So we have our lashes on now. We've got just about everything ready to go, but let's go ahead and set this because we don't want this to move all day. So this is the Juvia's Place Ready, Set, Sealed. Man. Can I get that to come down just a little? Okay, there we go. This is the Juvia's Place Ready, Set, Sealed. Sorry, I was playing with my light because I hit it with my elbow. Okay, let's go ahead and set that. We're going to make sure that little nozzle is faced towards it. Love the smell of that. Okay, so we started out learning and talking about using colored concealers to help color correct. We looked at the top of my nose. We used red on those high contrast area. We used green on redness and a little bit lower contrast area. Then we got on our foundation. We set that. We contoured. We highlighted. We added our beautiful pink MAC lipstick. Then we did what did we decide we were calling that? Oh, Northern Lights kind of thing. So we've got pink, we've got the yellow, which then together sort of makes a little bit of orangey. Then that's going to go out to a darker pink and then to the lavender. We added that little bit of a cut crease in there just to give it a little bit of definition, and then rounded that out with that beautiful green on the under part of the eye just to give us a little bit of a alternate color. All right, so that has been our fun for our face today. So let's take a look at our verses. We're just going to do a little bit of a review. We're going to start out in, I think I actually have it. Let me go back to, I think it's 26. We're going to do a little bit of a review of chapter 4. Okay, maybe it's 28. There we go. So, chapter 4, verse 1. Where do you think all these fighting and quarrels come from? Do you think they just happen? Think again. They come about because you want your own way and will do anything. No, let's see. Because you want your own way and... Hold on. You want your own way because... Hold on. And fight for it deep inside yourselves. There we go. I knew deep inside yourselves was in there somewhere. You lust for what you don't have and are willing to... You lust for what you don't have and are willing to kill to get it. You want what isn't yours and are willing violence to risk to get your hands on it. Okay, that was a little messy, but there you go. So, and then we're chapter 4, verse 2 to 3. You wouldn't think of just asking God for it, would you? And why not? Because you know you'd be asking for what you have no right to. You spoiled children, each wanting your own way. And then we got James 4 to 6. You're cheating on God if all you want is your own way. Flirting with the world every chance you get. You end up with enemies of God and his ways. And do you suppose God doesn't care? The proverb has it that he's a fiercely jealous lover. And what he loves is far better than anything else you'll find. It's common knowledge that God goes against the willful proud. God goes against the willful proud. God gives grace to the willing humble. I think I got all that in there. Okay. And then we had 7 to 10. So let God work his will in you. Yell aloud no to the devil and watch him make himself scarce. Say a quiet yes to God and he'll be there in no time. Quit dabbling in sin. Purify your inner life. Quit playing the field. Hit bottom and cry your eyes out. The fun and games are over. Get serious, real serious. Get down on your knees before God, before the Master, and it's the only way you'll get back on your feet, or the only way you'll get on your feet. Okay, and then we've got James 4, 11 to 12. Don't badmouth each other, my friends. It's God's word, his message, his God's word, his message, his royal rule. There you go. God's word, God's message, his royal rule that takes a beating with that kind of talk. You're supposed to be honoring the message, not writing graffiti all over it. God is in charge. God is in charge of deciding human destiny. Who do you think you are to meddle in the destiny of others? Here we go. And Now I have a word for you. Hold on. Now I have a word for you. Blah, blah, blah. Hold on. And now I have a word for you who brashly announce today or the latest tomorrow, we're off to such and such a city for the year. We're going to start a business and make lots of money. You don't know the first thing about tomorrow. You're nothing but a wisp of fog catching a brief bit of sun before disappearing. Instead, make it a habit to say, if the master wills it and we're still alive, we'll do this or that. All right, and then our verse for this week. So let's say this together. Let me grab my sheet because I don't know this one just yet. As it is, you are full of your grandiose selves. All such vaunting self-importance is evil. In fact, if you know the right thing to do and don't do it, that for you is evil. Okay, so again, all of these verses are coming from Color Me James and now the Color Me James calendar. So take a look at colormejamesbook.com. If you are just joining in with us, and you would like to join in on the fun, make sure you get subscribed to the email list that is on that page, because that is going to help you enjoy that exploration of faith and memory from beginning to end. It'll send you an email every week that will have everything outlined in there. All those videos are in there for you. All the graphic flashcards are in there for you. And you can also see the Spotify playlist for all of the music as well. And so I know I mentioned earlier, we were talking about that special heart emoji. So we've got the Beauty and Grace Insider that lives on YouTube. If you are interested in the digital version of Color Me James, the Cherished Queen membership level actually comes with a free version of that ebook there. So when you join the Beauty and Grace Insider Cherished Queen level on YouTube, you get that one for free. So you can just go to the YouTube channel and then /join at the end of it, and that will get you there. All right, so let me send you out with a blessing this week. All right, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift his countenance upon you and give you peace. Heavenly Father, what a joy it has been to hang out with all of these beautiful women today, whether they are here live with me or they are watching this later on. I just pray that you would shower them with blessings, that you would give us an extra measure of grace and mercy as we work through the book of James, and as you help that to sharpen us, to disciple us, to be more like Jesus. I just pray that you would help us to hide these words in our heart, that we would be diligent about our desire to memorize, and that you would help us just have that little extra pocket in our brain for getting all of this memorized, and that these verses would come to mind at situations, whether it be something that we share with someone else or something just for ourselves between me and you. I just pray that you would make this verse to be part of our daily life, that we would use these scriptures about daily living and take them seriously. Very serious. And I just pray all these things in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. All right. So let me show you what you're in for this week. So this week we have got a matching list. So you're going to match the words on this side to the words on this side while filling in the blanks down here. Try not to cheat, because this is how you're going to help get it memorized. And then this is our coloring page for this week. You choose the colors that you want. I know that you're going to see that graphic come out and it's got a certain set of colors. And you may feel free to, do like I did. But, it is your creativity, your time to be creative. So, make the most of that and do whatever colors you want. Maybe you want to do it like a monochromatic. That'd be kind of pretty. Just do the whole thing in different shades of purple. That would be beautiful. So whatever you decide you want to do, shoot me a picture. Let me see what you got. I would love to see how God inspired your hand to color that page in. All right, so thank you so much for hanging out here with me this morning. It has been a delight to see you. I'd love for you to leave me a comment. Tell me your favorite beauty tip or experience that you have had. Give me your favorite tip for memorizing Bible verse or what you do during your Bible study. And then make sure to like and subscribe and check out Selah Soul's channel as well, on YouTube specifically, where she's got all those videos in there. I know we're working through getting all the lyric videos, but there's, I don't know, 5 or 6 lyric videos already in there, and that will help you just get the words in the right place. So have a fantastic week this week, and I pray that God will bless you as you continue on in your study of James. Beauty on the outside, beauty on the inside. Love you guys.